Last weekend I watched VHS 99, and it appears a lot of other people did too, as I think this is the most watched Shudder original movie right now. Of course I had to watch this one. I've seen most of the others in the franchise. I don't remember much about them, honestly. It's been a while since I've seen the first one. I remember being annoyed it didn't seem like it was shot on VHS. I do remember the second one having at least one great segment in it, the one about the cult. And I also saw VHS Viral, which was terrible. I didn't see VHS 94, but Laura did, and when we finished VHS 99, she looked at me and said that she saw the better of those two movies. There's really no wraparound segments in this one. Instead, we get a lot of imagery of army men stop motion and young people playing around with the camera. And I kind of liked that because it instantly took me back to the types of things my friends and I shot in high school. I'm sure I could dig through a box in here and probably find some tape of us doing a silly short film or jackass tomfoolery. As for the movie though, like a lot of these VHS movies, it's a mixed bag. The first segment, Shredding, is simple enough. A group of young punk rockers hate each other and end up at a place with a haunted punk band. That's pretty much it. There's good effects in it, but it was my least favorite segment of the movie, in that it was the hardest to watch. They frequently do this VHS static effect all throughout it, and they overdo it to the point to where it was giving me a headache watching it. The best segment in the whole film is Johannes Roberts' suicide bid. It's hard enough that to join a sorority, a girl has to be buried alive, but also they give her a box of spiders too. Hell, this segment almost didn't even need to turn supernatural. This was already suspenseful as hell, and could have been its own Twilight Zone episode. Though the supernatural element is set up early on, and the payoff is really good too. It's kind of the only part that does have a good payoff. The third part, Ozzy's Dungeon, is one of the more ambitious, but it doesn't quite come together as a whole, despite its originality. It revolves around a game show that is already unsettling, and looks like it would be a children's game show on Satan's satellite TV from Stay Tuned. It was fun seeing Stephen Ogg have a great time as the host. And I'm watching it going, okay, where is this leading? Then it mostly goes into a kidnapping story where a family is pissed off that they lost and that their daughter was injured. That's less interesting, but it does pick back up once the game show comes back into it. But like a lot of segments here, it ends right when it gets good. That's the case for the fourth part too, the Gawkers. I like a lot of what they're doing here, where you have this group of pervy-ass teenagers who keep spying on the hot neighbor, like they're basically what characters from a late 90s teen sex comedy would be like in real life. There's even a good gag where when they see the monster, one says, is this still hot? I like how at first they think they're in a silly comedy, but then it turns into a horror film. Again though, it's about 99% setup and 1% payoff, which is unfortunate because I did really like the setup. It does balance the comedy and horror a little better than the last segment though. In To Hell and Back, this is like Satan's version of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where oops, we're in hell now. There's great camera work here, and fun little demonic characters. And I also like the added bonus that a lot of it plays out in real time. But whereas in the Gawkers, it knew when to use comedy and when to be scary. Whereas here, it's a bit too jokey all throughout. It was hard to take their situation seriously when they wouldn't stop with the jokes. If I was watching this as a short film on its own, that'd be one thing, but it's so tonally off from the rest of the movie that it was a little distracting. This is more in the tone of a darker This Is the End. This part was directed by Vanessa and Joseph Winter, who did the new movie Deadstream, which I'll also be reviewing. So yeah, there's one fantastic segment with Suicide Bid, but other than that, they range from below average to okay. I don't know how to rate a movie like this as a whole, so I'll just say that there's enough of it that works as a streaming movie for me to give it a B-. But you have to sit through some things that don't work nearly as well. Thanks for watching everyone, be sure to let us know what you thought of the movie below, and subscribe to our channel today and click the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.